We first got involved in EAC when Meghan seen an EAC band tour come to Miami. She was so impressed that she wanted to attend EAC. She could pick up any instrument and play whatever she decided that she wanted to play just by listening or remembering. She then decided on her own that she was going to eventually become a director in music. One day, we were at the Miami High School auditorium and watching a concert that they were putting on. And I kept looking for her. Where's my daughter? She wasn't playing the clarinet. I couldn't see her. And I kept looking and looking, and I stood up and I walked around and looked, and I still couldn't find her. And then I realized that she was down there directing.
I think we knew early on that Meghan had musical talents when her grandparents gave her a little keyboard one year for Christmas. She could have been all 2 or 3 years old, and she would sit down and start plunking out little songs like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something like that. And one year we went on vacation somewhere, and she got a little flute-like instrument and sat there and played The Lion Sleeps Tonight for her dad. And she started band when she was in the 5th grade and in the elementary school, and just that was her life. And one of her favorite sayings is, what are the football players doing on the band field? And that was one big reason she wanted to go to EAC, was because of their marching band. She did want to, you know, major in music and make a career in music, but she had kind of a special interest in working with the handicapped, and she wanted to be able to help them, and so she learned about music therapy. And one summer she went and spent some time with a couple of therapists and went with them to their programs and saw the benefits, you know, of music therapy and helping the handicapped. So I think she had found her niche, and that was what she wanted to do.
I think that's great that my aunt and uncle have, you know, decided to do this memorial scholarship, and it helps. It really does, and so I think it's a great thing to keep up, and you know, especially in her name, she would have loved it. You know, she loved music, and it was the clarinet that she performed on and played on, and I remember listening to her a couple times, and I thought it was really cool. And
Meghan has, I guess, inspired me and my sister to do a lot of things in our lives. She was kind of our inspiration to join band and do music. I don't know, I just kind of felt really called to go to EAC because I really knew Mr. Despain, and I went to EAC to do their Honor Band Festival. And that year, Dr. Sullivan was the guest director, and we played Flight of Valor for Honor Band. And we were in the choir room right before we went on to perform it for everyone. And Dr. Sullivan told Meghan's story. And he said, years ago, there was a young woman who came here, and she told me that this was her favorite song. And I chose to play this piece tonight to honor her. I was just thinking I was playing something that my cousin loved. It was just awing to me. And I just remember going out there to that stage thinking, this is for you, Meghan.
In the hours after she perished, you know, my sister said we need to do something for her to make it that her life was people still remember her, and her life was valid. And I thought she was going to go plant a tree for a while. And then I got some phone calls, and she was, oh, we're going to set this up, you know, and I'm like, how do you do this? Because, wait a minute, how do we do this as a family? Because I'm not musical. I don't know how to listen to these kids and if it's going to be any good or not. And she's like, oh, the people at EAC will help us. And I'm like, okay, good. And it's really come full circle for us, you know, as a family. RJ was in it because of Debbie and Forrest's hard work in the front end with the scholarship, and RJ was able to be a recipient of that, and being on staff now with EAC, and just seeing the kids go from Globe High School and then at EAC and seeing how they keep going, and how the money is helping them, how the funds are helping them keep going and achieve their degrees and go on and transfer to university and become teachers. RJ, I don't think he told you he's going to become a teacher.
Yes.
So, yeah, that'll be really awesome, and that's following in Meghan's footsteps yet again.
One year, one of Meghan's friends passed away, and I took her to the funeral. And she was asking me, what would happen if I died? I said, well, you'd see just exactly what you've seen here. She says, well, I would like a scholarship in my name. And I said, well, sure, we'd do something like that, probably through our church. Or she said, no, I wanted to go to EAC. And I was quite taken back, and I'm like, okay. She hadn't even attended and hadn't even really talked about it. We kind of tried pushing her one way or the other to think about going to a school, and EAC was something that she'd been planning. But she said that to me as we were leaving the funeral, driving away. And I said, oh, well, God forbid, that shouldn't happen, but if it did, then yes, we'd honor that wish. And she said, good. Therefore, when she did die, to take tragedy and turn it into something beautiful. That's the most important part.